and 2 cents. This is Petal. Hope you are all doing great. Welcome to my live impromptu out in the park sitting and just wanting to say hello wherever you are today. Hopefully you're having a great time. Hopefully it's a beautiful, beautiful day. I figure I have a few minutes. I want to just chat with my friends. Don't know if any of you are available, and come by and chat, say hello. Anyways, I literally don't have anything planned, but I was thinking about all that is happening in the last few days. I've been kind of trying to ignore what's going on Shutter Island. Hello, Gwen Daniels. How are you? Welcome. I have been trying to ignore all the hubbub about Kate and her video and all of that stuff, but it just keeps going and going and going. And it wouldn't end. So I figure I'll just share my thoughts on that little mess. Hello, Naluthandu, hanging out with us from South Africa. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 30-second tricks. Can you please tell me about today's weather? Well, today is very beautiful in New York. I'm assuming you can see from the photo. It's beautiful sky. Well, actually, today's a little bit hazy. It's not as beautiful as before, but other than it's nice and bright and it's sunshiny, so you know what, I'm grateful. It's not raining, so I am really, really, really happy about that. I'm very much happy for the cooler weather. It's not very, very hot, so that's great as well. Hello to all my friends just joining: Cynthia, Andrea, Gwen. Who else is here? Welcome, guys. For a minute I was like, it's gonna be just me in the just chatting, talking to myself, but I'm so happy you guys are here. Hello, Carter. Tell me if it's too loud. It's a little bit loud here. As with everything New York, there's a highway not too far behind me, so you could probably hear the cars going by behind me. Hopefully it's not too loud and you can hear me what I'm saying. So just give me a thumbs up if it's if you can hear me. If not, let me know that as well. So yes. But other than that, yes, I was just thinking about this whole mess with Kate and her video. And I know just about everybody and their brother have been getting a little say about it, and including their friends in the British press who are not very happy about them right now. Gwen gave me a thumbs up, so I'm assuming you're hearing me well. And so it's very, very interesting with this whole video issue with Kate and her cancer thing. I mean, I've said from the beginning, I believe something happened over the Christmas holiday into January. I never believed this whole cancer story. Again, if it is true, then, I wish her well and a speedy recovery, but I just don't buy this whole narrative that they have put out. And then we had the whole fake pictures and all of that nonsense happening there. And then, we had the cancer video, which very much, some parts of it looks AI. BBC never did confirm anything about what happened there. We had that whole fake Kate and William at the grocery store, the farmer's market thing. And so there's so many things about this whole narrative that has been just gone awry, that it stands to reason this would go awry as well. It's like everything they've tried to do is just it just hit in the wrong way and hit the wrong direction. And I think part of the problem, as I've said before, and so many people are saying, and that's why there was this whole hubbub about where is Kate for like a month and something a few months ago, is because everyone and their brother know that they have not been told the truth. And when people know you're not telling them the truth, and they can feel it and they can sense it in whatever PR you're putting out, then this is not like the old days. People are going to respond and they're going to be like, nah, you're lying. Yes, Andrea, yes, the trees are very beautiful here. Very nice. I'm sitting in a park by the water. Of course, I love the water. Don't ever want to be in the water, but love to be by it. But anyways, so this whole thing, when again, this is not the era where you could get away with that fake stuff and people not say anything. And for the life of me, I don't understand why they haven't figured this out yet. And so obviously Kate put out this video. I think it was like, was it Sunday or Monday? I think they put this video out. And apparently what they normally do is they would have normally sent that stuff to the press. They would send a written text and then they would send a video, and then the press will put it out and spin their whole narrative around it. So they basically control the narrative of what comes out of the royal family. But as we've seen in the last couple of times, I think even with the fake video, or the fake video, and then yes, and there's a train going by me as well. That's New York for you. Austin said, are you in San Francisco? No, I'm not. I love San Francisco, though. San Francisco is gorgeous. I love it there. I was there only one time, but it's beautiful. And I know it's like you're seeing a bridge. No, it's not San Francisco. I'm in New York. We have beautiful things here, too, Austin. So there. But yeah, so back to Kate and her video. So they put this video out, and I think it's either Sunday or Monday. And normally, again, they would put it to the press, and the press would control the narrative, and they would write these sappy articles about it and the whole bit. And they didn't do this time. They didn't do that. I think they didn't do that with the cancer video. Obviously, not with the. I think they did that with the farmers market video. Some craziness like that. I don't remember the whole thing. I've been trying to put this stuff out of my head. That's why I haven't been talking about it, but it keeps not going away. So anyway, so what they've been doing is, it seems like they're trying to break away from putting stuff in the press first. They want to, basically, they're trying to do what Harry and Meghan has done, but within the royal fold, which is break away from the press and control their own narrative. And so they did that. And so since they did this with this video, really blatantly with this video, and the press they are not happy. And so what has transpired was, I think the first day they might have gotten like some soppy, oh, wow, how amazing and beautiful. And it's so great she put this out for, and we're all happy that her cancer recovery is going well. And so the first day, I think they had some sappy reviews about it. But since then, the press has gone after her, and basically her and William, because, again, they didn't go through the press so the press could control the narrative. And so the Daily Beast put out this article claiming that some friend of William basically said, the narrative of why they did this video is to cuss word the press, cuss word the trolls, and to cuss word the Sussexes. Now, I have no idea how Harry and Meghan is involved in any of this mess, and why they would even include Harry and Meghan in this mess. But yes, that was the narrative that was in the Daily Beast. And it was just like, huh? What does that have to do with cancer and recovering from cancer? That totally threw the whole narrative for a loop. And apparently Tom Sykes claimed that, always claimed that he has friends close to the royals, so he may be more believable than most. And so ever since that article came out, every other article, including their besties at the Daily Fail, their besties at the Sun, the Mirror, the Standard, the Telegraph, and I think I saw like a headline from The Guardian, was it The Guardian today or yesterday, whatever, all of them going after the Waleses about this video, because they're all claiming it is fake, it is just too saccharine, and it's fake, it's just PR, they are not buying this whole narrative at all. And it is just like, my goodness, to see them go. And I think the thing for me, as I, again, I haven't really said anything. I've just been looking and seeing what different people are putting out. Even Richard Eden, who basically sucks the toes of royals today. And I haven't read the article. I just saw the headline. Someone posted a screenshot on X. The headline basically about why that narrative isn't working, why it's fake. Why I was just like, oh my gosh. This is about the third or fourth article from the Daily Fail. Again, the Daily Fail are their friends. Kate Middleton's brother gives dog food to Richard Eden, who writes these saccharine articles about them. And for him to really go after this video, it's like, what is going on? it can't be that they just hate this video so much. I mean, yes, the video is fake. Yes, it's a whole choreographed nonsense. And the whole, there's someone posted a screenshot of Charlotte when Kate was laying on the ground. I think William and one of the boys went down and kissed her, and you can see Charlotte's face in shock. So whether it's Charlotte is shocked because she's like, oh, I can't believe you're kissing, I've never seen it before. Or it's just that the fact that they're doing it so publicly, I don't know, but it's just all kind of weird. But it's just the way they've gone after this video. I'm like, yes, I know British, and yes, British squatties. I'm talking about British people now. The thing that I've noticed is British people have a big problem with affection, outward showing of affection, or people who are too sweet. I think because the nature of this culture is so very brutish in a lot of ways, this kind of outward showing of affection is very, I don't know, it's very intimidating to them. They don't like it at all. They are more the rough and tumble kind, again. So they don't relate, and it just makes them very uncomfortable. Anything really showing over, expressions of emotions, that's why they run away from their feelings and all of that stuff. And so I could understand this all is very awkward in a little way, and especially for the royals who they want to keep as these stiff upper-lipped people who have no feelings and emotions. So this kind of threw them for the loop in a lot of ways because they were all expressing shock. And so the temptation is to be like, oh my gosh, well, yeah, they just don't like it because of those things. And I'm sure that's part of that. But I think that the big thing is that part of the reason this is all happening is because the British press know they're losing control. They know that they're losing control because all of a sudden, the narrative that used to come through them isn't coming through them anymore. All of a sudden, William and Kate look like they are following the path of Harry and Meghan. They look like they're following, because Harry and Meghan have been successful in kicking out the British press, kicking them out. Their control over the Harry and Meghan isn't there. Even though they write 1 million articles a day, the control isn't there. And Harry and Meghan are successful in blocking them from their events, and they don't have any really exclusives from Harry and Meghan other than stuff that they make up. And so it looks like they know that they are, then their days of controlling the royals are numbered. And I think the whole thing that is coming out, all the hissy fit that is coming out of that is, yes, I'm sure they're uncomfortable with expressions of emotions and the whole thing. I'm sure of that. But I think mostly what is happening is because they see their control is going away. The control that they had over Kate and William isn't. And I think Harry and Meghan have, again, blazed the trail for the royals to be able to come out from under the control of the British press, and they see the writing on the wall. And of course, a lot of this is fighting for because again, they have to think about their pay. They have to think about the money coming into their news, or especially the royal side of the press, especially the tabloids. They are thinking of, oh my gosh, if we lose control of the royals, what is going to happen? We're not going to make money anymore. We're not, you know what I mean? And so they are fighting for their right to control. And all of a sudden, William and Kate are not going through them, and they are dropping their own thing, and they are dropping their own, and they're not going through the press anymore. And it's just like, TT Carter says that they say they're too touchy-feeling, trying to copy Harry and Meghan. They don't like that. Yeah, that's part of it. They don't like the touchy-feely stuff. And I'm sure, yes, it's uncomfortable. I can imagine. For me, I looked at it, and I'm used to that sort of thing, so that does not even faze me. The only thing, it does look staged and it does look fake, and you know what I mean. That's, yes, I could totally get that. And especially when you're thinking of in terms of what the messaging is about. I saw a little interview with Camilla Tominey was doing this interview with somebody else at the Telegraph, and she was desperately trying to bring Harry and Meghan into that, and the guy who she was in, I don't know if it's a podcast, whatever they were doing, it was a little clip that someone posted on X, and at least he was honest. His thing was like, look, if you're gonna do something, I don't mind the messaging, but what would have been better is if Kate would have not tried to do this perfect woman thing, but try to, at least show her visiting cancer patients, show her bad days too, maybe taking a pill, maybe, I don't know, getting a shot, whatever, but show the good days and the bad days, but not try to make something this saccharine and all of that stuff. So at least he was honest about why he didn't like it, even though Camilla Tominey was trying all kinds of ways to make excuses for it and bring the Sussex to it. He just wasn't having it. He wasn't buying that whole messaging that they were putting out there. But I think overall, I think it's the press, the whole thing. BBC did a whole, I saw a little blurb from a BBC article where they were bemoaning the fact, well, that's not how they normally do things. How could they do this this way? And they're basically freaking out that they're losing control over the narrative for the royals. And, I really thought back to why Harry was so upset at William. And one of the things in Spare and Harry talked about was just how disappointed and hurt he was by William, because they had both made a deal to never ever basically get into bed with these people after what they did to their mom. And they had made that deal. And the truth is, William actually hated the press more than even Harry did. So imagine Harry's shocked to see William going and all of a sudden colluding with the same people that they had made a promise to never ever collude with. And so I have to believe William is seeing Harry now all of a sudden having his freedom and been able to successfully get rid of the British press, even though the British press writes like 1 million articles, about 1 million articles about them a day, but they are thousands of miles away from the British press, so they don't control what Harry and Meghan do. And but I have to believe that William is like, well, maybe we can do the same. Maybe we can get rid of them. But the thing about it is, because they were already in bed with them and because they live in the UK, they can't get rid of them. And so the press there can literally make or break them. And so I think that is more of the struggle that's going on, and why you're seeing all of this negativity towards this video. Yes, the video is cringe. Yes, this is fake. Yes, the messaging is very bad with those photos and videos, which it's not just home. These are not just random like home video stuff. It's like a director came in and they wrote out a script and they went along with it. William does look very uncomfortable and all of that stuff. Yes, absolutely true. But it's very interesting. For me, I think the bigger issue, Lakiva said, the video isn't real life. Yeah, and which is one of the big complaints about it. Yes, it isn't real life, and especially for people with cancer. I have cancer friends one of my friends actually passed away, and I have friends right now who are living with cancer, and that definitely doesn't go running through or walking through a fields and letting, releasing butterflies from their hands, and their hair is beautiful and long and shiny in the back. It doesn't represent what really happens with cancer patients, and I don't know why they went with that. And I even saw a tweet or a post from Rebecca English trying to, because again, she is their mouthpiece, trying to make excuses and trying to desperately explain the thinking behind the video, that she really wants to, show that she's moving on and that she, better things are ahead and all of that stuff. And really, nobody is buying it. And it's just like, oh my gosh. But again, when them going off on their own and not sending that video to the press is more the bigger issue for the press, because again, it signals to them, like I've said numerous times, the mainstream press and written press and all of that stuff, it's basically going out of style. That is just, it's becoming really irrelevant because of all the fake news and all of that stuff. I mean, I even saw a post, I think, where the reporter in the British press was saying, if the royals go off and do things on their own like this, then there's nobody to hold them account. And the reason why they're there is because we hold them to account. This is a Daily Mail reporter saying this, by the way, that apparently they hold Kate and William to account. And I'm like, that is such nonsense. No, you don't. If you did hold them to account, the episode I dropped yesterday, you would have been talking about that. You would have been going through and questioning their financing. You would have been going in and questioning the kind of what did they do actually on a daily basis. You would be questioning their actual the events that they do. You'd be questioning these engagements. How effective has it been? If you've been holding them to account, you would be really not even questioning, but really calling them out for taking all that money from the government while there are people who can't pay their bills, elderly people who can't pay for heat during the winter and all of this stuff. If you were holding them to account, the royal family could not get away with the things that they're getting away with. And the reason they've been getting away with it is because the press has not been doing its job. So that is nonsense. The reason they're upset is because they see that their control over the royal family is slipping. And because Harry and Meghan have led the way, and that's why they hate the Sussexes and are desperately trying to destroy them. And so don't be surprised if Kate and William don't throw them a bone soon. They will start destroying them, because that's what they do. It's like they eat their own. And so you have to feed the monster, or the monster will turn on you. And this is kind of what you're seeing. So it's just it is very interesting to see some of these articles. You're like, oh boy, they're really upset. But again, they are basically fighting for their food. They're fighting to pay their rent. And how they pay their rent is by controlling the royal family, controlling the royal family narrative. Lying as it is, but that's the deal. We pay, you pose. And all of a sudden, the Cambridges, or the Waleses now, are not posing as they should be posing. And the press isn't having it. So it's very, very interesting to see. Very, very, very interesting to see. Let's see what you guys are saying. TT Carter says, yeah, I believe too that nothing was wrong with her, but that there was a big lie that she told. And Willie said the two Filipino nurses, he stressed that point. Well, at least she thanked them. So, and I think the reporter from the Telegraph was saying that it's interesting that she has never thanked her team, because they know that there's something very much off. Apart from them being upset that they can't control the narrative, they know lies are told. They know that this whole story is not what was told, that what we're being told. They know very well. And so, but they're still trying to, let's see if we can keep this narrative, but we have to have control. We have to have control over it. And so that's the kind of pull and tug that I see happening there. Not just that they hate the video because it's too saccharine. Let's see. Ara Carter said, I had no idea the Wales did the video without the British media. Yeah, no, they didn't know. Apparently, some of them knew that something was going to drop, and they thought it was just going to be, like the usual press release or something. They did not expect a video. They didn't expect the video and definitely if they expected the video, they would have expected that the Kensington Palace would have sent the video to the press and the press release it. They were not expecting the Waleses to just drop the video and then they had to just sort of play catch up. They did not appreciate that. So yeah, that's what happens when you deal with the press. That's what happens when you are in bed with the press. You have to keep feeding them or else. So yeah. Let's see. Denise Marcus says it's just a Summer's Eve commercial. I can't see nothing else after seeing the video side by side. It was a complete douche. I saw that. I was like, who made this video? Somebody took down the video, the Wales's video, took out the sound and put in the Summer's Eve commercial. You know, that Summer's Eve women's freshener thing. And yeah, it became a Summer's Eve commercial. I was just like, oh my gosh. And if you remember when the first video they did like that, I think, was it like last year or something, they put out like a family video, and so and someone put what was it, some kind of sexual disease or something like that, something, I think it was like herpes or something. There's a commercial for some cure for herpes, and I don't remember the name of the treatment that people use who have like a sexually transmitted disease. Well, somebody used the sound from that commercial and put it over, and it's amazing how it fit. Because it literally looked like that, and I was like, oh my gosh. They did the same thing with this one and used the Summer's Eve. And I was like, somebody needs to go speak to Kensington Palace and their PR team, because yeah, they don't need to be doing that any longer. So yeah, Bonnie Mighty says, I no longer have cancer, 6 years now, but it left without hair and arthritis, which is a lot. You know, I am so sorry, Bonnie, that you had to go through that, but I am so happy that you don't have cancer anymore. Oh my goodness, that is such wonderful news. But yeah, a lot of people with cancer or who have gone through cancer, a lot of them are not feeling it too, because it doesn't represent them. It doesn't represent real life. And I think that's one of the regular folks' main arguments with this, and main problem with this is it does not represent main life. What she's saying in the video, like that, you know, is fine, but when you put it over the images that they filmed, it's just like, no girl, that's just bad messaging. That's really, really bad messaging, especially, I mean, if you're going through chemo, like Bonnie just said, without hair and arthritis and all the other stuff that comes with chemo. And then you see this woman looking bright and healthy, driving, pushing her son, and is not a baby, pushing her son in a swing, walking through the fields, whatever, that's fine. But look, you know, hair bright and long and shiny, and like not one hair follicle fell out, then it doesn't represent you. And you're like, wait a minute, what is this? And so I could understand feeling like, wait a minute, that's not, you know. So yeah, a lot of people have a problem with that. And if I had cancer, I would have a big problem with that as well. So yes, Mama Jane says, oh, Raphael B, I hope you feel better in Jesus' name. Oh my goodness, Raphael. Oh goodness. First your shoulder and your brother, now you're not feeling well. I pray that you feel better soon, Rafaela. I'm so sorry to hear that. But she is here. Rafaela, you're here even though you're not feeling well. So I just hope that you get better soon. My words, so many people are going through stuff, you know. And I think we're in a stage where we're not looking for fake stuff. We want people who are real and could just speak truth about where they are. And if you can't speak the truth, just don't speak at all. Pretty much. Just don't speak if you can't speak the truth. So yeah. Let's see. Dolores says they are uncomfortable seeing these two showing affection since they have never done it. That is the case as well. I mean, but again, Harry and Meghan haven't, you know, if you looked at them, their whole love language is touch. Their love language is hugs and touch, and that's just who they are. So it comes naturally to them. And I think, again, as with everything else, William and Kate are seeing that, oh, we want to add that because people love that about Harry and Meghan. And so we want to be that. And they've gone, how long are they married now? 10, 11 years, 12 years, whatever it is. And they've never been that way. And all of a sudden they're trying to do this. And even their own press is like, they're imitating Harry and Meghan, which, I mean, Harry and Meghan are not fake. They're, it's who they've been from the beginning. And so, and all of a sudden you see Kate and William trying to do that, and then doing it in a fake video on top of that is just like cringe. Really cringe. And so you can see them having a conniption over that stuff. So yeah, and it's funny. It's kind of like, just be normal, just be you, just be honest. And I think, again, this whole thing started with lack of honesty. When you're not honest, people can tell, and people are not willing to put up with nonsense. They're not willing to put up with you being fake. And all of a sudden, back in the day, you can get away with stuff like that. Now you just can't. People are not willing to put up with that sort of thing. Yeah, so but again, for me, I think the biggest issue with the press going after them, it's basically to teach them a lesson. You do not try to get away from our control. We control you. Basically, it's we pay, you pose, and we control your narrative. And so William and Kate trying to get away from that, good luck with that, because the British press is going to make their life hell. Look, Harry and Meghan are 5,000 miles away, and they're still trying. I mean, there have been, even recently, one of those reporters went stalking them in Montecito and wrote an article about it. And it's like, these people have no shame. I was like, I would be so embarrassed to write some of the, even anyone know that I'm doing any of those things. Like, if I was, inclined to go stalking someone, it's like, I wouldn't want anybody to know, and far less put that in a newspaper so the world knows. I mean, these people have no shame whatsoever. They are the ones that are cringe, honestly. They do write some very cringy articles. So very, very interesting. Let's see. And another thing is, apparently Prince Harry, either in an email or his staff in an email, people seem to have changed their article, which is make it very suspicious. Like, why? Just leave it. You've already put it there. Don't change it. Unless they inadvertently said it was Harry when it was his PR or publicity person did it. But they said that Harry said, they were talking to him about his 40th birthday, and he said, I think the most important gift he's ever gotten was his kids, and that he's gonna spend his day, I think the day of his birthday, which is Sunday, with Meghan, and then after that he's going to celebrate internationally, whatever that means, whether his international friends are coming to California or he is going off with his friends, who knows. Whatever that means. Of course, the British press has already decided for Harry what he is doing. Basically, he is leaving Meghan and going off. I have no idea. Nobody knows. People weren't specific. And now they've again, at first they said they got an email from Harry, and now they've changed it to a representative for Harry. So who knows what the truth is. But then when you change stuff like that, it makes it look suspicious, like they're hiding something. Just leave the article. You already wrote it. Just leave it. I mean, unless it was an absolute falsehood, which, I could imagine, okay, we are correcting it. And and putting a note saying, okay, we misrepresented this. It was not specifically from Harry, but from his people. When you change stuff like that, it makes it look suspicious. And again, you know how I feel about People magazine. For me, it is a tabloid, but the Sussexes do have a relationship with People. They do give them exclusives. Harry did a whole exclusive for them when he was promoting Spare. Harry and Meghan took them with them, the only outlet with them, to Nigeria. So they have a relationship with People. So if People are saying it, then I'm inclined to believe it, because, they do have that relationship. I will never understand it. For me, I think that is a mistake. I never understand the relationship, why they chose to have this relationship with press in the US, because for me, the US and the British press are very similar. Yes, they're not as abusive as the British press, and they're not just literally targeting people. They do the same thing in just a different way. And they do the same thing sometimes in a quote unquote nicer way, but they do the same thing and they behave the same way. And so especially like if Harry and Meghan give an exclusive to other people and don't give an exclusive to some, they will start attacking. I saw this very attacking article attacking Meghan again today from one of the U.S. outlets, like one of those quote unquote reputable entertainment outlets today. So you see this kind of things all the time, and so I'm like, guys, y'all have a big platform. You do not need the press. But they don't seem to, they don't see it that way. And so that's just my opinion. Who knows what they will decide to do in the future, if they will keep it as is, or if they will just realize that they have a huge platform that they don't need them. We will see. But we'll see going forward what they do. But again, apparently that's what Harry is doing for his birthday. He's hanging out with Meghan and whatever celebrating internationally means, we will see, or maybe not. So yeah, let's see. And there was another photo. People did an article with Meghan with another photo. It looks like a pop photo, so I'm like, let's just leave that alone. But she apparently on the 2nd, I think the article said on the 2nd of this month, that Meghan was at the bookstore, the Godmothers. So apparently she was there before the opening, and I guess they photographed her before the opening, and then obviously we saw the other photos of her, the opening, and then the next day. So this has been going on long before we knew it was going on. So yeah, let's see. TT Carter says the reporter went home with nothing. Next couple of days, pictures came out, made Meghan out and about, made Meghan out and about, which means there are no leaks in Montecito. Not only are there no leaks, if you notice, there was this paparazzi company that was just harassing them every other day. You'd get some kind of pap photos because their paparazzi would stake out Harry and Meghan. But ever since, if you notice, ever since that stuff happened and went down in New York with those paparazzi last year, you notice you don't see those pictures anymore. You don't see those paparazzi pictures anymore. And I think because of that event, and also if you remember when Harry's the last bit of the court case with the security happened, when the New York police department sent the letter to the UK letting them know that what happened in New York, what Harry and Meghan said in New York, did in fact happen. I believe ever since that, the paparazzis are not following them anymore. And because that paparazzi company, what are they called again? I forgot what they're called. That's how long I have not seen photos from them. They were really all over Montecito, stalking every angle to try to get something from them. And you just don't see that anymore. And I think it scared off a lot of those paparazzis, that the Sussexes. And again, because if you remember when that first happened, that paparazzi agency they were really cocky, and they put out this article really attacking the Sussexes and mocking them and all of that stuff. And then they have gone silent. So I believe they got that letter from that police as well, letting them know that, yes, we can charge you. We can file charges against you. And yes, your paparazzi did exactly what we said they have done. So you don't see that paparazzi anymore, that paparazzi company anymore. And I was just like, and I didn't realize it until a couple of days ago. I'm like, wait a minute. We really don't see any photos from Harry and Meghan out and about in Santa Barbara anymore. And so, yeah. Very interesting. But I think that event and Meghan and Harry calling them out publicly, that has spooked them, and I think paparazzis are pretty much staying away. So yeah, Backgrid, thank you. That's how long I haven't. Thank you, Bonnie. That's how long I have not seen photos from them, of Harry and Meghan, because there was. For a while there, they were just on it, and they have not been. So I would assume Backgrid is probably staying away. And look, if I was a company and people from my company did what they did in New York, then I would run away too, because Harry and Meghan can bring charges against them because what they said they did, they actually did. So yeah. TT Carter says they actually made an arrest in New York and they're actually scared. I didn't realize they made an arrest. I know from the letter that they had sent to the UK, and from reports I had seen that they had said no arrests were made. And so if arrests were made, great, deserved, absolutely deserved. But I think that episode scared them, and because they know that the NYPD does have them on file and they have that stuff on file, so even though they didn't make an arrest, they can. So yeah, I think that stuff kind of spooked them. So yeah. Let's see. Which is great, because at least the Sussexes have peace. They have peace, so that's good. Let's see. Oh, Alex, thank you so much. Like, you're the best. Oh, thank you. I try. Let's see. And before I forget, if you're in New York, our Karen Warner is having her event coming up on Saturday the 14th, and in New York. So definitely check it out. And I forgot to put the link, so I have to remember to put the link in the community page, so that way if you still want to go, there are still tickets available. You can definitely attend and celebrate Prince Harry's birthday, and also encourage and support Karen. So that would be awesome as well. So let's see. TT Carter says at the time of the initial report that they had, but afterwards they looked at the cameras from the streets. Yeah, and remember, Harry was also photographing as well. He was also filming as well. So I think they, putting all of that together, yeah, they're spooked. Good, very good. So yes. Carter says NYPD probably also told the Paps that they have video of what they did in New York. Yeah, I would assume they would have sent that on to, or at least let Backgrid know, because Backgrid is responsible for that. That is with their Paps that were there. And so I'm sure that information went to Backgrid, and they have definitely backed off. So yeah. Because if they hadn't, you would have had more kind of pop pictures about what happened last week at that at the bookstore. They would have been on that. So yeah. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Gwen says she agrees. So great. Thank you, Gwen. Let's see. Cookies and Cream said, it's absolutely appalling and inexcusable to use a serious disease such as cancer as a PR stunt to get sympathy. It's nothing to play with. I lost my parents and aunt to cancer. I was their caregiver. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry, Cookies and Cream. I can't imagine just knowing what you know and living through what you live through, and to see this sort of thing. And I think that is what has been really aggravating to many people. They share this exact same sentiment. And you've lived through that, and you have loved ones that have lived through that, and or you're a caregiver, or even if you are the person going through it, to see that sort of thing is really egregious. And to know that not only that nobody knows. She hasn't even said what type of cancer, so nobody knows what type of cancer she has. There've never been any, any situation where she's gone and spent time with cancer patients, where there's any interaction with cancer patients, other than the little, it will get, we live through it, we have to stay strong, that kind of thing, which is fine, but nothing that people could grasp hold of that is of any substance who are struggling in that way. And so yeah, it just, I mean, again, with her, I believe something happened, but I don't believe that what they're saying that it is. I don't believe that. And again, I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. If I am wrong, I wish her a speedy recovery, but from what they have shown, I don't believe I'm wrong. So yeah. Anyway, before I forget, guys, I have to apologize for something. Yesterday I dropped a video, and I meant to post a note in our community page letting you know that because of stuff I was doing during the day, I wasn't able to be in the chat with you. And I completely forgot. And I dropped the video, went along my way, and it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot to post and let you know. So thank you for those of you who were in the chat and who watched the video yesterday. And it was about Kate and William and their finances, their very questionable finances in the Royal Foundation. And so again, I deeply apologize. I don't know what I guess I just completely went blank, meant to post it and to let you know I wouldn't be there, and then completely forgot. So I apologize, but thank you guys so much for just watching it and commenting. I really appreciate it. So I'm telling you, my mind is not what it used to be. I have to write everything down now so that I remember things. It's like, can't believe I completely went blank. So anyways, guys, I unfortunately have to jet off. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and chatting about this this stuff. I just, oh, thank you, Andrea. Thank you. It was a good one yesterday. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. And yes, but prayers to everyone who is going through stuff. Rafaela, Church Nelly, so many people in here who have going through and are going through difficult times with their health. My goodness, much prayers to all of you. So, but thank you guys for hanging out with me for a little bit. Much love, and yes, sending you all lots of hugs. And I will chat with you next time. Have a great day, and I'll chat with you tomorrow. Okay, bye.